Hey there, it's me, Julie, Fei-Fan Balzer, and I'm here with a really cool technique that I'm calling double masked gelatin printing. It's actually based on a technique I taught in a video about a year ago. So you can see that I am just covering a piece of paper with lots of scribbles. I'm using oil pastels here. You could use crayons or whatever else. I'm also using acrylic paint again, acrylic paint, watercolor, whatever you want. I'm just trying to create a really dense surface with a lot of color and pattern because we're going to be masking. It's important to me that it's dense. So again, stenciling is awesome. Painting patterns is awesome. Stamping is awesome. I'm using some art foamies here for big foam prints. You just want to saturate it with tons of color and print and stuff. And once it's all dry, then you're ready to get started. So I'm going to be working with Frisket Film from Grafix. This is fantastic, sort of low tack adhesive film. And if I can separate the two halves here, you can see that one half is clear and has adhesive on the back, and then there's just a backing sheet. So onto the side that's clear adhesive, I'm just going to write using my own handwriting. You could also use a die cut machine if you didn't want to hand cut it. Punches would work too. But I'm just going to cut out the word love, and you'll notice that, of course, that I'm starting with the insides of the letters. And when you're hand cutting, it's really easiest to start with the insides of the letters because the paper is the most stable at that point. And then I'm just better with scissors than I am with a knife, so I usually switch on over to scissors when I'm going around the outside of something. It's just a little bit easier for me. So once that's all cut out, and you can see it there, and it's not like I was exact or on the line or anything like that, then you're ready to get started. So I have a Gelli plate there. You could use a gel press or a speedball plate, whatever it is that you have, a homemade plate. And I'm going to cut down my paper so it's a little bit smaller. And once I've done that, I'm also going to take a piece of deli paper, which is folded in half, and I'm just cutting a heart out like you did in kindergarten, so it's, half of it, because I want to show you sort of the very basics of just understanding how the masking whole process is going to work. So I've put some paint out. I'm going to put my heart mask down onto the plate. You can see it right there. And this is the technique that I taught in a video about a year ago. I think you can find it on my YouTube channel pretty easily. Then I'm going to go ahead and just flip over that busy paper, and then I'm going to put another piece of deli paper on top just to protect my hands from getting all painty. And when I pull it up, ta-da! The mask has done its work, and so I have a heart now in these sort of intense scribbles. So I'm just cleaning the plate by putting down a bunch of different paper on there to pull up those prints, and I can pull up my mask and keep that and use that for something. I can get the print that was under there. But now we're ready for the next layer, and I want to show you what's a little bit different about the mask that we just cut out of the frisket film. So it's adhesive backed, obviously. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull the adhesive or the piece off there, and I'm going to stick it onto the front of my piece. So instead of putting it on the plate, I'm putting it directly onto my piece. Now, because this is text, that's great because it means that whatever I see is exactly what I'm going to get. So I put the love on as I saw it, and it's going to be exactly like that when I pull it off. So then you just need to get under there and pull it off, and boom, you can see the same idea as the heart. It's just with a skinnier line. So now the question is, what happens if we combine the two as an idea? So you can see I'm putting some paint out, and instead of putting the inside of the heart out, I'm putting the outside or the stencil of the heart down. And then I'm putting the love onto my paper and I'm pushing it down. And now we should have the love inside the heart, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to try that again using a little more color saturation because I don't feel like that one came out particularly well. And same idea. Cut a heart, use the outside of it, put the love directly onto the surface, push it down, mushy mush, pull it off, boom, perfect print, okay? And again, cleaning the plate. So here are all the prints, but I really don't like that purple print. It's too faint. There wasn't enough paint. So here's the awesome news with this technique. You can actually get a redo. It's not ruined. So this sticky mask, which, we've used a couple times and it's still sticky, I'm going to stick it right back down exactly where it was before. Use the brayer to just help me really sort of push that down. Put out some paint, put down a mask, okay? And now I'm using my fingers to try to line it up. It doesn't need to be exact. If it's a little off, no one's going to notice, but I'm just trying to get it close. I'm just trying to sort of make sure it's around the right height, around the right area, but it's a little bit of faith there. And then when you pull it off, ooh, so much better. So I just needed a little more paint, a little more saturation, but you can see how cool this is. Depending on how much paint you use. So if you use a lot of paint, it gets a little blobby. If you use less paint, it gets less blobby. But again, so many cool ways. The double masking, I think, is just such an effective way. You could definitely do your Valentine's Day cards this way, obviously, since we have a little bit of love. But you could also do this with somebody's name. You could do this with a word. It doesn't have to be a word. You could just do shapes or whatever else. Super fun, super easy. And I hope that you will give this technique a try. So thanks so much for watching. If you liked the video, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and of course, come on and visit me over at my website at balzerdesigns.com.